Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. I'm your regular host on the Connect with Comfort show. My name remains Comfort Eyitayo. On this show, we feature special guests who are subject matter experts that helps us to shed more insight into the topic of the day. You are most welcome. I'm glad you're able to join us today. I hope your Sunday has been wonderful. Welcome. Our topic today is a topic that challenges today's fast paced and highly visible world, and that is value over visibility. I take that again, value over visibility. In an age where likes, followers, and trending hashtags often seems to be the order of the day and consider as what dictate the worth of individual, we are reminded today of a deeper truth that visibility without substance is fleeting, but value built with integrity, consistency, and purpose endures. Visibility can open doors, no doubt, but it is the value that keeps those doors open. It is the quiet strength of character, the quality of service, the excellence of work, and the trust we build over time that truly define our impact. Not just how many people that are watching, but what do we offer when they do. So today's conversation is a timely reminder for all of us. That is, be it entrepreneur, professionals, brands, and organizations. Let your work speak so powerfully that visibility becomes a consequence, not the goal. Let your work and your value command the room, even when no one is watching. So I implore you not just to reflect, but to re-evaluate. What do you stand for? What are you building? And will it matter when the spotlight moves on? What you are building currently, will it matter when the spotlight moves on? So this and many more will prefer answer to in our interview segment with our special guest of the day, who is already in the house waiting patiently for us. So I want to thank you once again for joining us. Please remain connected as we'll be right back after this short break. Thank you. You're most welcome once again. Like I said, our guest is already in the house with us, and the guest of today is no other than Ashedu Jude. Jude is an educational tech consultant, school improvement advocate, and filmmaker at EduJet EdTech Services. I hope I get that right, Jude.
Yes, yes, you got it.
Thank you. Currently living in Lagos, the center of excellence, of course. His interests range from technology to entrepreneurship. As an experienced educational technologist, adept at analyzing needs and designing tailored learning programs for organizations of all sizes and industries. With over a decade of experience spanning the corporate, non-profit, and public sectors, he leverages robust instructional design, project management, and technical skills to enhance workplace learning. He is a true believer in the power of educational technology to drive organizational performance. Please join me in making welcome Ashedu Jude. You are most welcome, Jude.
Thank you so much,
We
Madam
are grateful
Comfort.
to
Thank you
have
so
you.
much, audience. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. So, without much ado, we go straight with our first question. Looking at this topic,
Okay.
very important topic, value over visibility. You agree with me that is timely with what is agog on the social media? Hashtag follow if you like this, follow us and this and that.
Yes, yes.
So let's start by asking a pertinent question. What does value truly means in the context of business, leadership, or even personal branding? What does value mean?
Okay. Thank you, Ma, for the question, and I think the topic is very important at this point in time, so that we are able to distinguish what is real and what is not real, and who is giving value or not online. So, for my experience, I've seen value in different aspects, and majorly, the simplified way to see value is you are offering something tangible or intangible benefit to people or to certain group of audience, right? So it could be tangible or intangible. And most times it's probably you want to solve a problem for them, or you want them to have a certain kind of experience when they come in contact with your value or whatever you offer as value. For example, in business, you see it in product and services, right? For uh, personal branding, you see your expertise, your skills, and all that. In leadership, the how you're able to influence or give your followers or those under you insights, and also make them uh, on par with their job descriptions. Now, generally, we see value in anywhere we could probably we see value in everything we do, but it depends on what impact it makes on whoever is receiving that value. Because sometimes, most times, the value we give is not just for us; it's for actually those who come in contact with us. What benefits do they derive in such values? So when the value benefits others and they're able to testify, we actually say these are the impacts we get from this the value you're giving, then I think you have scored your points with whatever value you are offering.
Excuse me. In another word, is saying the value you give that meets a need.
Yes. The value
That
you give
is,
the needs of people, because you
yes,
can decide, even if sometimes you might be giving a value that benefits you,
that
but it
just
doesn't
that's what
benefits the
exactly.
next person. Yes.
So
But as far as it benefits other people, then you are giving
yes,
some sort of value,
okay,
whether tangible or intangible.
true. Thank you for that. So in the same vein, let us understand properly what we mean by visibility. Is it synonymous with influence, popularity, or recognition?
Okay, visibility. Hmm. And before social media, people had a way of being visible, right? Majorly maybe through town hall meetings or TV, radio, or satellite show. But now it's social media. Visibility in the hands of almost everybody. A teenager, a teenager in school can have visibility more than uh, uh, an adult who with experience.
A professor.
We- yeah, we see that in Gen Z, in
Yeah,
this
Gen
Gen
Z.
Z
Yeah.
generation. They have more visibility, and majorly it sometimes mostly doesn't come with value. That is the fearful thing. Sometimes mostly doesn't come with value, because people now are chasing visibility based on what the social media algorithm presents. You know, the social media algorithm is always like, share, comment, as you said backstage, like, share, comment, and all that. So you are people get into this dopamine hit of trying to put out content no matter what it's, whether it's valuable or not.
Decent, yes.
Yeah, people try to put out content every day because the algorithm wants you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically the algorithm, in as much as it says it wants you to be put out valuable content, but the metrics there is for visibility. The
Mm,
metrics put out by the algorithm or engineered by the algorithm on social media is based on visibility.
mm.
But as far you can get more followers, it doesn't matter what you're
Answer to
giving.
them.
Yes, it doesn't matter. So sometimes it's very difficult, but now we see more visibility, people chasing visibility more than value.
And value. So maybe that leads us rightly to our next question. Can visibility exist without value? Can value thrive without visibility? It's like a
Yes,
two-sided coin.
come here. Yes, yes. Visibility. I would say we already see that visibility is existing without value. Of course, visibility, but you need some level of value to actually push out your visibility. Because sometimes, most times, we see even those we call influencers on social media, maybe these content creators. You mostly see them, they are chasing visibility. Majorly, they are chasing visibility because somehow the algorithm also pays more. The algorithm pays more for you to be visible than
Large number of
valuable.
followers, yes.
Yes, valuable. So because they pay you based on the number of followers, as yes, as you
Mm,
recognize.
mm.
So automatically the math is just be visible, later be look for something of
Or
value to offer.
eh, whatever.
Look for something of value. But at
Mm,
that point, I've found that people get trapped. People get trapped in their chase for visibility because people will know you for certain kind of content. And once you try to divert from that, posting that kind of content or presenting yourself in that content light, they
mm.
lose interest
Yeah.
because there was nothing of value at that before you start, at that point, before the person got a lot of visibility. So
Mm.
you can be valuable, you can be visible and not valuable. But for you to be valuable, for people to see your value, definitely you need some sort of visibility. You need some sort of visibility to have gone
It's
out.
when they get to see before they know,
Yes, yes. Get to know whatever you are offering. But
like they say, the taste
what
of the
used?
pudding.
Yes.
I said, like
What
they
you
say, the taste of the pudding is in the eating.
is in eating? Yes. So
Eh,
whoever does not taste whatever you're giving,
you
they don't
cannot.
know. They don't know. And it's painstaking in the sense that people can be dying for what you have to offer and not know you offer it
Mhm.
because of
Yes,
lack of
lack of
visibility.
awareness. Yeah.
Yes. And there are solutions. I've found that there are solutions out there. Even in energy, there are solutions out there that people do not know exist yet. The owners are not making much money because they are not visible. They are focused
Facing
in
out.
creating value.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at some point, I think people who offer value or something of value should still put
Find
more
the
effort in way of becoming
getting
visible.
visibility.
Yes.
That's good, but there's also a catch
Okay.
in chasing visibility more than value. The sustainability of what you offer.
Offer.
I think with the bios
Yeah.
I gave,
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
think the value keeps you longer.
Longer. Yes. Yes. The value is the staying power of any brand or any
Yes.
person.
Mm.
Because sometimes people push too much visibility, then they gather crowd and they don't know what to do with the crowd, or they start
And fizzle
selling
out.
yeah, selling something valueless things to the crowd, and you find that they are just empty. They are just
Mhm.
empty.
Okay.
I've I've seen okay, go ahead.
No, go on. Go ahead. Just land on that.
Okay, I've seen a situation where people online that offer things of value, right? Maybe they are in these controversial topics and all that, but it's of value to the public.
Mhm.
No matter how the platform try to deplatform them or cut them out, they still find a way of coming back and still building their audience more than people that have been trying that for years. So
Okay.
because they have something of value to offer, and that makes them indispensable.
Mm. Okay. So we will take a contribution from Banjo Bayode that goes thus. In
Okay.
an industry where visibility often takes center stage,
Let's see.
how do we ensure that the content we deliver creates real value beyond just screen time and ratings, which is in line
Okay.
with what we're.
Well, okay. Uh, Typically, in those cases, you have to promote your your story. You have to promote your result or your testimonials from whoever is benefiting from your value that you offer, and you have to promote your your journey mostly because people find that more interest in terms of get attached to your story, get attached to people who are benefiting from whatever you offer as value, and that automatically uh, gives you time and traction to actually build more value even while you are being visible.
Okay.
So, majorly, it's important in an industry where visibility is rated over value. It's important you also do your groundwork and making sure that you have enough evidence gathered
Value.
about your value when you are trying to be visible.
Okay. I hope that answers his question there. If not, he can come back and let us know if he wants more insight. So we go on quickly by looking at the angle of the personal and professional application of this topic. Have you
Okay.
ever been overlooked despite delivering high value? if I put
Yeah,
that to you. And how did you navigate that experience?
experience. Yes. When I was coming up, like where I still work, and I found that in my organization, I work in a, educational establishment, so I I had more to offer than what is keeping me in the organization, right? But I still wanted to work in the organization to clear the bottom line and all that. But I still wanted also visibility or ability to be able to transfer whatever I'm offering there to the rest of the world. So I think it was LinkedIn. I began engaging in social media. Everything good I do or make or the impact in terms of the solution I provide in educational technology, I started putting it out in LinkedIn, making it as a free offer to anybody on LinkedIn. That was 2016, 17, 2016, 17. So immediately somehow LinkedIn algorithm took interest and started connecting me with people who also are of the same like mind, and that was how I got my breakthrough in terms of becoming more visible than just within my organization, and because I already had things of value to offer, right? So my first gig or training, I was able to handle more sessions than some other people that came in. Maybe they were more focused on one area, right? So I was able to handle more sessions than expected, and that actually made it. This person, you can do more than what you are offering, and that was how I got a lot of visibility on my in edtech. So that was where I navigated. I started putting out things that I offer online for free. Even when people were charging for it, I just put it out for free and say this and this you can work and all that. And that automatically made the algorithm recognize my impact.
Okay, that makes sense, and perhaps that's your own shared experience will apply to any professional or entrepreneur trying to prioritize visibility, um, in addition to the value they have.
Or how, yes.
So I think that's a good example. But while you were doing that, you were still working in your
Yes, yes,
place
yes,
of
yes.
work.
Yes.
So how did they now, the question started by saying those, and some of us have suffered this in the past, that
Yes,
they overlook you and they don't seem to recognize the value you carry. And
correct.
like you have just shared now that you now started getting the visibility. How did that open their eyes to see, oh, perhaps we're sitting on a gold mine in quote, and then we did not realize, and it's only through the outside rating that our eyes got open or our
Okay.
minds got liberated. So how did that reflect in your
As expected, more responsibility.
ah, like 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 seriously. So it's like what they say, the reward of hard work
It's hard work.
is more work.
Work.
Okay,
Well,
they
well,
now
it gave me more leverage in terms of how they perceived me in the
mhm,
organization. So, though then they were not seeing me now, it's now, oh, this person is of value. If
uh,
is contributing this much to his industry. So,
mhm.
some might gave me some perks and
Definitely
more.
it should lead to that.
Yes,
It should lead to that. Oh,
but
that's
the work tend to increase with it too.
yeah, but that's the value we are talking about.
Because
That's a good that's a good example. Now, is it ever justifiable to prioritize visibility in the short term to eventually communicate value?
okay. Mm, Prioritizing
prioritizing
visibility,
mm,
visibility in the short time.
mm,
Okay,
just
in those
in a way to be able to communicate value.
value, yes, because I feel that, like I said earlier, you still need to
A little bit of
sell your value.
visibility.
You need to sell your value, or you need to you make your value visible to some certain extent. So uh, you would have built enough traction in value, then somehow you find a way of making it visible. It's very important that before you start even building your visibility,
Excuse me.
before you start building your visibility, make sure you have built enough traction in value in terms of your solid. Because sometimes you don't even know who will call you at the instant you just become visible, right?
Mhm. So
And
you are
it's
not seen as fake.
yes, yes, because people just think that just become visible, then later look for something of value. What if you got lucky, and the first day you promoted your small value and something big start demanding for something bigger from you, then you have nothing to offer at that point, because the person have not built their root system and their value traction before they came out. So it's very important before you start becoming visible, make sure you have at least something of value to offer.
Okay. So the question now is, what are the risks of pursuing visibility without first establishing value?
Okay, the risk majorly, especially in my industry, the risk majorly is uh you 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 start making people doubt even people that offer value, because there will be too many noise. There will be noise, which we see in social media. There will be noise everywhere. People saying they are doing this, they can do this, they can do 1,000 things.
Mm.
They can help you make 1 million in a day and all
In
that.
a day. So when it's time to deliver,
And then
the
they
fall
start
flat.
selling different things that you like, almost
Mm.
like a Ponzi scheme.
Mhm.
So it's very important that in as much as you want to go out there and become share your value, if you do that without properly packaging yourself or packaging your value or solidifying your skills, you find that you spoil the road for other people that are coming, because people will now become triple
Careful.
yes, because they'll become very very uptight when they want to deal with people like people who promote value as visibility over value. Then when they see somebody with value trying to come out, they will start questioning things, except that
Mhm.
person with value already has a fan base, or a niche where they already
Proven
shine.
record.
Yes. So it makes it difficult for upcoming people to struggle.
To try. Okay.
It becomes a diluted market.
Mhm. Mhm. I understand. So how can individual or brand balance building authentic value while managing visibility effectively?
In my case, what worked for my case, it could apply to any other case. Majorly, it's the result I was getting at the backstage. I was sharing them, and somehow I met with people who have made impact with, that they have maybe employed my services or have helped one way or the other in the space, and they testified. I documented that testimony and I shared that. And once in a while, I also share my journey. This is what I'm trying to do, and this is how I achieved it from this. So that automatically builds an authentic value system where I don't. It also helped me measure my impact too, because I found out that uh, uh, I cannot share things that make something visible that I've not done or have not achieved. because I'm doing it from uh, for cloud's sake. But when you start doing it because you have stories to tell, you have people who are following, who you have made impact with, give their testimonials, and you share your journey. Automatically, you find that you have enough to give, even if they are small. But at least it's something tangible that can help any other person.
Very true. Very true. We just had a contribution from Pastor Tokwe Omagi from Abuja, confirming that it's what you said about having to build value over visibility is very true, so that you don't end up being considered fake at the end of at the end
Yeah.
of the day. Yeah. So that's very important. So, what role does storytelling, even though you mentioned something about that as you were answering that question, so what role does storytelling, marketing, or social proof play in bridging the gap between value and visibility?
Great. Okay. For storytelling, my storytelling actually made what I do concrete. Make people can relate with what I do, because it's not just, I'm not even telling other people's story in terms of telling what happened to other
But
people.
sharing
Like I
practical,
thought, yes,
yeah.
yes, that was statistics, raw statistics, abstract statistics. But
Mm.
my story made it possible that people can relate that. Okay, funny enough, what I do here, I still get people tell me, why don't you travel abroad? Why don't you go to your talent is more valued in US, in Canada. Well, somehow I've not really caught the bug of Jackpot.
Jackpot syndrome.
I've not caught the bug. But people tell me that my vibe to be valued there and all that because of what they see. They hear my story and they see what I do and they say, ah, this thing is, you will be paid millions over wherever you expect me to be. So storytelling actually solidify my work. It makes it human
Mm.
because people can relate with human based stories. So when they see that you are doing it as a person in Nigeria, it's not far fetched that you have to go overseas and get that same services or
Exactly.
quality. Then for the
You
marketing,
can relate to it, yes.
yes, I can relate to it here because sometimes when we talk about educational technology, we see America, we see Britain, we see Canada, we see all those Western countries. But sometimes I find that I have done more than even people in those countries. So Nigerians can relate with me that we have somebody here that offers that high quality that they can even get overseas
Mm.
in naira, not dollars.
But the
Then,
opportunity also exists that you can work even in Nigeria and earn
yes,
dollars.
yes,
So
remote work, yes, yes.
yeah, so
That's
that can even be a win-win
when
because you are
yes,
in your own environment. Like they say, who east or west home is the best. You still have
is
that
the best.
element and you still earn your dollar.
Yes. And
I hope
charities
one
believe that
day, I pray it's in my lifetime that our naira will also be valid like that. That people will be wanting
in
to earn
dollars.
naira. No, to earn naira.
When okay.
It's because dollar is valuable that we are all chasing after it. So my
Yes.
prayer is that one day, and I hope
Now
it will be in my lifetime, that our naira also becomes cherished to the
cherished and
extent
valuable
that
as
people are
dollar.
willing, yeah, willing to get it. There was a time our naira was even
Yeah.
higher than
One,
dollar. At least
one
I
naira
witnessed
to a
that
dollar,
life.
yes.
No, naira was higher.
And dollar, wow.
Naira was higher.
Ha- Wow.
It was not a story. I it's something I
Experienced it.
witnessed. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I think
so
that would have been before.
never say never.
Never
Anything is possible.
possible.
We keep
So
striving
that's
at it.
for social proof, testimonials from people that have worked with me. I was
Mhm.
trying to chase a grant somehow. I was thinking, I think they asked a question, who have you impacted in terms of what you do? For some few hours, I was thinking, who have I impacted?
Because you have not documented it.
Yes, I've not documented. Who have I impacted? So I just okay, I just sent some messages to some friends on LinkedIn. Please just write a recommendation on any impact I've made. I was surprised. Wow, I made this
Things that
impact.
came, yes.
Wow. So they will respond, and their testimonials were very helpful. And I'm also a big advocate of case studies, especially local case studies, in terms of what I implement. Right? If you are implementing a technology in America, it's different from if you are doing it in Nigeria because of our
Yes,
context and all that. So I will never buy an American technology if it's not implementable in Nigeria properly.
exactly, because of our peculiarity.
Peculiarities. And that's what makes most products fail because they think because it works well in America or
May not be
Western,
adaptable. May not be
yes,
adaptable. Yeah,
at all.
that's true.
Therefore,
That's
marketing is just a matter of promoting whatever you have achieved or whatever you have people have benefited from you in public and making it more visible.
fantastic. Now, how does modern culture that we've been talking about since, the social media, influencer trends, how does all this influence the value versus visibility debate?
Hmm. Modern culture, I think it's people will blame the algorithm. Most people blame the algorithm
True.
for
The
putting
love of
people on that treadmill.
earning, yes.
So you see people chasing clout a lot. So the modern culture is majorly. I will not blame the algorithm. I will say most people do not really know how to approach the algorithm in terms of they just take the surface summary of what the algorithm expects and run with it. They you'll find out that if you open a Facebook page or a Facebook account for the first time, right? It happened to me. I think it maybe it's also how the algorithm works. You find out that it sends people, it first sends people in your phone number, right? And maybe you want to be very selective with people you want in your group or not. You find that it will switch to start maybe suggesting their friends to you.
Yes.
Then at some point, it will start suggesting random people that you don't know to grow your audience at that
Yes.
point. So if you have too selective, then it slows down. So at some point,
like like me, because you have to be careful if you go and
careful, you
say
know,
select so many people you don't know
don't
what they
know,
do and their intent.
and they'll start disturbing you or start trying to hack your
And,
account.
and that is one. And then maybe those people that have been unfortunate to have a bad experience with them, they say, "Show me your friend, I will know
You
who
know
you
who
are."
you are. Yes,
So
yes.
if
They'll
you
look
have
at your friend list and
if you have all and sundry just following you, then
there's
something
something is
must happen.
wrong. Yes. So at that point, you find that you have to be very selective, and most people just if they don't take note of that kind the way the algorithm work at that point, they just click
Mm.
click click click. This person is asking for your friend request. Facebook is just trying to make you
Suggest.
suggest yes.
Mm.
So if you are not careful the way you select, the algorithm will not fine tune itself to your preferences.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So it depends really on what you are chasing or what is chasing you.
Yes,
If you are there for real value, then you have to be
value
very careful. Yeah.
careful.
Yeah. My sister just confirmed, but she's quoting 1980, the period I was referring to
Okay,
when
okay, for dollar.
dollar was when naira was higher than dollar was in the 70s. It's something she can Google. She gave us an amount for $1,000, 636 or something thereabout.
Naira.
Yeah, naira. Even that time is still okay, but we had a better time in the 70s. naira was actually higher, and
And
naira was I was almost at par with pound
pounds.
sterling then. Mm. God will help us. Like I said, never say never. We
But
just
yes,
keep at it, and if we continue to improve ourselves, the challenge is
I
with us. If we are ready to be sincere and do business the way we should do it, and
do
then
it.
we are very hardworking people, very resilient, but it's just that aspect that which we all know that we need to work on to make
The,
this
the
better
reward, the
for us.
reward part.
That to make this better for us, since we are on the air, let me not echo it. God will help us. So, are there specific industry or profession where visibility tends to overshadow value, and with what consequences?
We have it in majorly uh industries where maybe like coaching, maybe like content creation too, content
Uh,
creation, and maybe
artists, and
artists. Yes, most of these skills that actually promotes more of your visibility than your value. Find
yes,
them, find them,
the influencers of this world, and then film,
comedians.
comedians, filmmakers, or
Yes, yes.
um, what do they call them now?
Artists.
Actors, the artists, actors and actresses.
So
Okay,
those are
and
the industries that request them to be more visible than valuable.
yeah, yes, yes.
I think
So,
people pay them. That's how they get their endorsement. I think
mm-hmm,
that's how they get their
mm-hmm,
endorsement because it seems it's
definitely,
like an endorsement based market at
industry,
that point.
yes, very good. So, which do you think has a more enduring impact? Being seen, that is visible, or being useful, that is value,
Definitely being useful, being valuable,
valuable.
has more enduring impact because most times, uh, I think people who, I think I've experienced it too, where I put so much energy in my value or whatever I'm offering, and I don't have time to be visible. So at that point,
You
today,
don't get to see that value that you are creating.
yes, 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 I don't have time. So it's painstaking. It's painstaking because sometimes people, it even happens to creative people. They spend more time in their work, but you don't even know them or you don't know what they do exist or the beauty of their work. So that's why somehow it's maybe you have to hire somebody that makes your visibility manager, so or your brand manager and all that, that makes your work visible. When you start earning to some certain point, you can pay somebody to work on your visibility so that you work on the value part. But at a point of a solopreneur, you have to do both at the same time. You find time to build your value, and you also find time to become visible or make your value visible.
Fantastic. So, how can organizations or leaders intentionally build a legacy based on value rather than fleeting visibility?
They will have to, for organizations like that, they will have to uh, uh, put more work in rewarding value-based proposition in their business.
Make it part
Majorly
of their culture.
culture, yes, yes. So since they are big enough, they can start putting effort in uh, building their values or selling, branding their values, while they will have a different department sell out that value. So majorly with their customer relation, with the effectiveness of their product, services, or impact, and all that works for organizations.
Okay, okay. So how do we measure whether we are operating from a place of value or simply chasing visibility? How do we get the measurement?
Okay, okay. From I think I said something similar related to that. You have to start making sure that whatever you are offering, you are documenting it, and making sure that you are not selling more than what you are offering, or or blowing your trumpet more than what
Higher
ever.
than what you can give.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, yes. So documenting your processes, documenting your testimonials, your stories,
Hmm.
automatically you can track your whatever visibility you are trying to promote. You can track it, so that you find that most times people, I don't know if this is correct, but you hear some situations where, I don't know, maybe some mentors or advisors or content creators, they will say, sell it, even if you can't build a railway station, promote you can build it. Then if you get the contract,
you
go.
start you start looking for
You have
how
heard
to.
something. Yes, you have heard something like that. So that is also a mindset which people have, but some, I don't believe in that anyway. I don't believe in that.
It's very risky.
It's very risky.
Very risky because
Very
the
risky.
bubble will burst if you are not lucky enough to make the right connection on time,
Connection,
and
yes,
then
on time.
you'll be seen for who you are,
Yes.
fake.
So that is something you hear in around the corner. And I believe just build, no matter how small your value is, build it up. There are ways you can work within your value and actually make it more visible. Because what you should know is people, no matter how small your skills are, there are people who need it. There are people
Yeah,
who will even pay you to learn that little skill that you think is too small to share. That is very important. Just work within your value, blow the small uh, things you can offer, and make them visible.
be true to yourself, be true to
Yes.
time, and
And
be true to what you can offer. Thank you very much, Jude. You've done wonderfully well. Great insights that you have shared on this very important topic. And I hope things like this, if we imbibe it, it will help us to get to where we are heading to as a nation, to prioritize value. Yes, we need to be visible. We need to, like somebody said, if you don't blow your trumpet, someone said it will be stolen. Another school of thought is that it will get rusted. The common one is nobody will blow it for you.
for
But
you,
in all three, you do all this moderately, but
more
be true to time, not blowing the trumpet more than what you can truly offer. So
offer.
we want to thank you very much. You have not overblown your trumpet. In fact, your value has spoken highly for you. I we appreciate you for sharing this great experience with our audience. Thank you very much. If you
Thank
will
you.
have a parting shot, what would that be? Just in a second, what would a parting shot on this topic be for you?
Okay. I'll say to the audience, or I'll say, no matter what you do, make sure you know the nitty gritty of that particular tangible and intangible value you're trying to offer. Know the nitty gritty. At least know the foundational parts, and you can build on it. And it's important also not to be in a haste to make yourself visible. Don't be in a haste to make yourself visible, because you can be lucky. People,
Step
there's this,
at a,
the
one step
people
at a
have this,
time.
yes. there's this saying like a one hit wonder, right? Somebody that just did one thing and it became person became public figure,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe after then they couldn't. For example, artists, they one hit wonder, they made one
You
record
cannot
or one
sustain it.
chart,
That's it.
they could not sustain it, and that was the end of their
The
music career.
limelight. Mm.
Yes. So build enough. Why you hear some people that even when they died or passed on, they have like hundreds of records they pre-recorded before they died. That
Yes,
that's a
and,
high value kind of person.
and it lives, becomes an evergreen thing for them. You
Yes.
are very
Even
right. Thank you very much. While
yes.
we were on the show, we had some regulars that joined us. Taiwo Ojo, streaming from Abuja, Bayo Bayode, streaming from Lagos, and our Pastor Tope Omage, streaming from Abuja. We appreciate all of you. And those of you that perhaps I wasn't looking to catch your name that joined, I want to appreciate you. In fact, Bayo, they contributed. Madam Tope Omage, Pastor Tope Omage also contributed. We appreciate you for enriching the show with your contribution. I want to appreciate all of you, even if I've not been able to mention your name. You are highly appreciated. I hope we are meeting a need. We are adding value to your life from the tips you are getting from this show, because that's the essence, to add to uh, business and personal growth, enterprise and personal growth. So that is why this was designed. So thank you very much once again, Jude, for doing us
Thank you so
proud,
much.
for
Thank you so
sharing your time with us. So as we come to the close of today's session, value over visibility, I hope we are living with a renewed understanding of what truly matters, not just being seen, but being significant. In a world where the loudest voices often dominate the room and the brightest images capture attention, it is tempting to chase visibility at all costs. But true impact lies in the substance we bring, the value we create in our work, our relationships, and our communities. Visibility may open doors, but value will be the one to keep the doors open. Visibility may get you a seat at the table, but value ensures you are heard, respected, and remembered. Let us remember or remind ourselves that our worth is not measured by likes, followers, or applause, but by the problems we solve, the lives we touch, and the legacy we build quietly and consistently. So, as you live here today, I encourage you to shine, not just with popularity, but with purpose. Prioritize depth over display and influence over impression. Because at the end of the day, it is not how many people who know your name that matters. It is how many lives are better because you showed up with value. Once again, thank you, and keep showing up with excellence. So I appreciate all our online audience as well as our guest speaker, special guest today. I hope you have all enjoyed today's episode. If so, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos, like we have been talking about, like and share. So do the same here. Stay updated with information about upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook account at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, let us explore what truly matters, what it means to build value that lasts beyond the moment, beyond the spotlight. Thank you and God bless you.